this bad boy. All right, good morning, folks. It is April 4th, 2025. I'm really, really excited because I've got a very, very incredible special guest, incredible friend of mine as well. And I think I've known this guy, I think what, maybe 8 years now. And not only his kids, but also when it comes to him, his wife, you guys, this guy is the real deal. Not only is he an incredible, incredible insurance agent, a phenomenal leader, but also AJ is an incredible dad. I just think the world of him. I think he is inside and out, just a wonderful person. And he's all about helping people, period. Anything that comes out of his mouth, he's always intentional about the delivery of it, the value that he's pouring out to all of you guys. So I'm really excited because today, what we're going to be discovering together is, are you ready for this? We're going to be discovering the producer's playbook, how you can win every single week. AJ, do I have you, sir?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Are you like
Loud and clear.
so excited to be talking to the Dreammakers team and Powerhouse team?
Yeah, I really look. You guys invite me to a lot of stuff, which is really fun. I do enjoy helping others. I feel like I've been here long enough. I've failed a lot, and if I can shorten somebody's curve a little bit better than mine, then hey, I've won. So yes, heck yes, I enjoy being here.
Amen. Amen. And when it comes to working out, you're a beast. I know that we also have a mentor with Jordan Smith, but then also when it comes to Dan Martell. So you were the one that said, Ash, dude, you've got to get in with this guy, Dan Martell, and the strategies. And good Lord, the way this guy teaches business is just unbelievable. One nugget that you've actually really learned from Dan Martell, what would it be?
Oh gosh,
Right? Yeah.
yeah, it's tough. Can I give you three?
Sure, sure. Go for three. Go for three.
All right, simple. We are our conversations. Just yesterday, I'm in the car with Linda. She's been out of town. I like to re-engage with agents, so I'll get back in the car. And we're going house after house after house. And she said, "Man, nobody's home." And I said, "Linda, they're at home. We just haven't found them yet.
Mm.
Watch your words." Number two, winners lose more than losers, or winners fail more than losers even dare to try. He says it all the time. Winners lose more than losers fail to try. So that just tells me that failure is part of winning. There's a book called Go for No, and it teaches the mentality of sales and what it takes to win. It's no, 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 yes, no, 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 yes. Like those no's are winning. So how do you define winning? And then number three, this is probably my favorite, and it's changed the way I look at my business, is nobody has to change for me to win.
Mm.
And that's very powerful to me because there's been a lot of times in my journey where I've been like, man, if they could just have done more. If they would have grown over here, then my business would be better. If they would have done that. No, AJ, nobody has to change or do anything for me to win. I should have went and helped more people along the way and just done what I can do to control my growth in my business instead of looking so much at what other people could do. So those three I think are extremely powerful.
Boom. I know this. I mean, he's really helped me a lot when it comes to buying back your time. If you've not read the book yet, buy back your time. Doesn't matter what entrepreneur, what business owner your field of expertise is in, buying back your time and time management is an essential key characteristic, in my opinion, or skill set, whatever you want to call it, but you got to be able to master your time. And of course, that's an element when it comes to winning your week every single week. And that's what we're going to be diving into, folks. Y'all, here we go, because I'm ready to rock and roll here. So bear with me one second. I know that we're going to be talking about urgency, intensity, but when it comes to this producer's playbook, what are you most excited about when it comes to the content that we're going to be talking about today, AJ?
Look, man, you guys should be able to take what we talk about today and go out there and implement it right away. But hopefully it's something that you take on, like you own. So I think that's the biggest thing is that like what Jordan teaches, what Craig teaches, anybody from stage, what part of it that you take in and that you personally own, that's what changes you.
Absolutely.
So just taking ownership of this stuff, like NASB wins, like everybody sees it all over. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'm not saying don't be creative and learn new things. It's just, man, how much can you run the playbook? And then Jordan says this all the time: spend time with people that you can learn from or duplicate yourself through. So it's about learning the system, going and doing, and then duplicating it with as many people as possible. That's the system. So yeah, just owning it, man.
So check this out. So we're going to be breaking this down into parts here. Okay. When it comes to the producer's playbook, first up is you've got to understand, everybody understands the 10 steps to the presentation. You've got to make sure that you master your presentation, but that's not what we're going to be talking about. Your systems, your structure, your discipline, but catch this, behind the scenes. What are you doing behind the scenes that creates urgency, that creates intensity? Because you look at Kobe Bryant, I know we're right smack in March Madness currently right now, and you look at these incredible key players, these incredible teams like Duke, and I've just become a Duke fan. I know it's super duper weird, right? Still a Carolina fan, but I love watching them. But you look at their intensity on the court, you look at how they have disciplined in practice. What are they doing in practice? Not so much what you're doing out on the field. What are you doing behind the scenes? So, AJ, let's kind of take that apart a little bit. Break this down for me.
Gosh, like on a day to day, look, number one, I think where um, it comes into is calendar management. Like I already know where I'm going every day. I have everything blocked out. So I can't remember who talked about it on a call once before, and I had read it, but it's called block scheduling. But there's a principle out there that we actually do more with less. And that true freedom actually comes with structure. One of the things that I see in this business when people get in, and the reason why they come here is because of the freedom. But when they realize that true freedom is built with structure, then they can build the life that they desire. So take your week and look at it in blocks, and then in the morning before everybody wakes up, block out time to work out, block out time to read, block out time to do the things that grow you. Look at your business, like what do I need to fix? Certain things like that, Ash, are very, very important. So calendar planning is huge. And then like nobody sees that. Nobody sees calendar planning. Nobody sees you looking at your back office. Nobody sees you reading your, emails or however you process conservation. Nobody sees your to-do lists, but you do. So those things are pretty important. And then nobody sees you practice. Maybe your coach, but like when you're driving down the road, are you saying the 5 A's when you're brand new? Like looking in the rear view mirror? Are you practicing the common objections? Those things people don't see, but that's how you get better is you do things when nobody's looking.
I also think too is like it's almost as if you go into these phases. So, for example, you're a brand new agent. That's the first phase. And then after your 90 days, you've learned a lot. You're starting to march into this level of expertise. In other words, every 6 months, if you are growing at a 20% level, what do you need to do? You need to break down your systems. You need to upgrade, just like we upgrade or update our cell phones. It's the same thing when it comes to your business skill set, when it comes to your calendar planning. Hey, look, what got you here won't get you there. What got you here won't get you there. Craig Harvey says that all the time. Okay. He said that in Mexico. And if you want to avoid burnout, you've got to master what you're doing behind the scenes when it comes to the calendar planning. Because think about this, really break it apart. Why do people get stressed out as far as burnout or they're not getting the results that they want? It's because you're not doing it right or you're not doing it enough. What are you doing behind the scenes? I mean, that's it. You're not doing it right or you're not doing it enough. What are you doing behind the scenes? What does your calendar look like? You might be producing at a high level, right? But then the next week, you're stressed out because you're not checking your back office because you've not put the time to put into your back office in the morning or at nighttime, whichever one you choose, whatever works for you. I think also when it comes to AJ, this aspect of block scheduling, I love what you said about true freedom is built with structure. Folks, if you are hearing some nuggets, light up the chat right now because that is money right there. You want true freedom. You want to always be able to avoid burnout. You want to be playing at your best every single day. You've got to master your time. So here we go. We're going to go into the next point. You ready for this? The speed. The speed. Again, this is not about winning a 10K week. I know that AJ released a phenomenal video just to the Dreammakers team and Powerhouse team. Thank you so much for doing that. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it anywhere on my social media. But the speed to success. AJ, let's kind of touch on that one.
Yeah, I mean, y'all have probably heard this like money like speed. I agree with that. That's why like Everhart teaches all the time 40 new to you leads a week. You should really have so many opportunities at your disposal that you're you're not worried about just one. Like it's just, all right, let me go talk to the next person. Let me go talk to the next person. So I think that's really important. That speaks to like why there's 40 new to you leads a week. It doesn't matter if they're platinums or whatever. But even if you can get more, that allows you to move quickly without worrying about what one lead says or another. And there's always going to be profit, guys. Like I think company wide, it's $1 produces anywhere between $9 and $11 in a return in a deposit. So if you already know that, then it's all going to be good. Even if this batch fails, this batch of 40, and I blank, maybe sell one and break even, the next one is going to bring the gold rush. Like it's just always been there. So I think having more leads is better than not having enough. Like most people invest into their business just enough to stay frustrated. So if you don't want to be frustrated, invest a little bit more. Um, to me, Ash, like I think a mentality of having like sales isn't something you do to somebody, it's something you do for them. That's your frame. And you go out there and you just really try to help people. And I think that really puts you in a position to where like you don't get caught up on one deal. You don't get caught up on losing the logical sale that Miss Johnson was like, I just don't want to change. Well, if you're like sales is something I do to them, then you're going to push, push, push. And if you fail, then it's going to burn you up. It's going to take some energy away from you. And you need energy at 5 p.m., just like you brought at 10 a.m. So if I know that I'm here to do something for Miss Johnson and she doesn't catch it, then hey, no big deal. I'm on to the next one. So I think having that mentality coming in neutral, saying, hey, I don't know if I can help them or not. I know that I have a playbook and a lot of carriers that I can help people. But at the end of the day, it's their life insurance. It's their decision. If I can do all that I can control and I win, great. If I do all that I can control and I don't close a deal, great. I'm on to the next one. So I think that's pretty powerful.
I think it's also when you're looking at strategy, producers playbook wise, you've got to minimize the gap. Again, I know we just talked about the time management aspect, but when you are looking at your day and you're staying in a zip code, mastering that time in between homes. And then also, I remember Joey Carano was talking about this, where, hey, listen, start picking up on these dots that are being thrown out. In other words, if Miss Johnson isn't with her spouse, I was talking to an agent just yesterday about this, where, hey, the house is maybe at work. Okay, well, develop a little bit of a rapport. Don't do a full presentation with them that's going to, cost you an hour and a half of your time, because broke people think on money, wealthy people think on time. That's how you need to be thinking about is, okay, well, I can maximize my time if I have what? Both the husband and the wife here. So I'm going to go ahead and circle back at the end of my day. I'll make you the last stop of my day, Jack. So when Miss Aria comes by and, comes in for the evening, I'll go ahead and grab some dinner for you guys too, okay? Because I know there's a Bojangles right down the street, but I got so many folks I got to see. It's what you're physically doing when it comes to the time that you have. So I feel like so many new agents and maybe even some existing agents, AJ, they go into this like analysis paralysis where they just keep analyzing the wrong data versus looking at the data that physically matters. For example, I was talking to an agent just yesterday and I said, how many presentations have you had this week so far? And they said, 5. Okay, it's Thursday. You need to be playing at 15. Where and what is going on for you not to be playing at this level? In other words, do you see the intensity in a coach's voice? Not, I feel like so many managers and coaches, they're saying the wrong thing. If you are a manager right now, and if this is what you are saying to your agents on a Monday, on a Wednesday, on a Friday, hey, how's your day going? Anything I can do to help you? You suck as a manager. You literally suck as a manager. You know why? That's probably the worst thing you could ever say to an agent, which is this: how can I help you? Let me tell you why. You're the manager, you're the coach. You should know what is necessary as far as helping them. That's your job, that's your responsibility. They don't know. They don't know. You got to tell them. You got to be honest with them. And if you don't know the data, the proper data, then you're stuck in a analysis paralysis of analyzing the wrong data. Man, I don't know why I got a chargeback. I don't know why this happened. And I just don't know why no seniors are home. I don't know why. I don't. And then guess what? They never reach out. Hey, look, if an agent on your team hasn't reached out in a few days, if they haven't, reach out to them. Makes sense. AJ, back to you on this one as we tie this one up.
Yeah, yeah. So I liked what you said, like learning when to continue with the presentation and when to cut bait, like how to set that up properly. That's really huge. Like there are times where I leave a house and I'm like, "Ugh, like guys, I've been doing this over a decade, and I'm like, man, I was there way too long. Like if I set my block from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the field because I got recruiting things going on after, like it makes me move quicker. That's what I speak to. Like true freedom comes with calendar management, comes with time management, comes with how you deal like with structure, is because you know you have limits and you need to work as fast as possible. So it helps you like realize, hey, I'm not really going to be able to help this person. They got great insurance. I'm trying to squeeze juice out of a turnip. Like, just move on. Learning really quick when you see oxygen all over the place. If they got insurance, like add on or move. If husband and wife aren't there together, build rapport, set an appointment, come back when they both are. Like, otherwise, you're putting yourself in a position to sell something that you won't keep. And at the end of the day, guys, this isn't about how much flash I can put out there on writing all this business in 1 week and then being gone 2 years from now. Like I've made a lot of money here because I stuck. And I stuck because I followed what Jordan has always taught. And he's taught what's sustainable because what's sustainable is duplicatable. It's what everybody can do consistently long enough. So that's huge. So like there's a lot that goes into this, man. I think you know, Ash, it's gonna boil down to like how much like I've been here, like I said, I've been here a while. Staying consistent and being urgent all the time, it's because I have a big dream and I got to. So sometimes we just don't go back and relook at what we're trying to accomplish. We don't look at what we're trying to build. We don't look at who we're gonna become through the process. Like we don't ask ourselves those questions. So, like if you're feeling stuck, go back and look at what you're trying to accomplish. You know, who am I becoming? Like if you've been here a couple years and you haven't hit the promotion, don't look at missing the promotion. I've been stuck at what is associate partner now for way too long, but AJ's become a really good person. So like I've grown a lot. So look at those intangibles because at the end of the day, that's all we really got.
Amen. I love that. You know, I love what you said about how you haven't quit, you stuck it out. But who do people listen to? Who do people respect? People respect the people that didn't quit. Period. Think about it when years from now, what will people remember about you? And I remember the world, I remember doing a personality test. And AJ, I don't know if you've taken that either, but the world tells me that I don't finish things. That's because of my personality or whatever that is. And I just remember that sticking in my brain that I've got to finish this. And you've got to be intentional with it. So, again, guys, point one was how to win your week. Number two was you've got to be able to win at the speed so that you can be successful. Number three is this: you got to be able to pressure proof your business. You got to be able to pressure proof your business. This is a mental game. I need you guys to think, love, when Simon Sinek talks about the infinite game, this is an infinite game. When you're working, when you are in business, this isn't like football where there's, a score at the end of your week. This is an infinite game here, but it is a game, just like money is a game. You've got creators, you've got contributors. Which person are you? You've got to be able to pressure proof your business, almost like staying in this beast mode mentality every single day because you're backed up by what? Your why. And I love what you said. Some people have forgotten about their why. Man, that's what makes you move. That's what makes you wake up when you don't feel like waking up or going to that next house or beating Everhart this week or beating AJ if you're on Asia's team. Okay. And I had not forgotten AJ that, yes, Asia and the Howland team, yep, they're coming after you this week. But your story, I think sometimes when you don't understand the story, then if you understand the story, then you potentially could understand the fight, if that makes any sense. So, for example, AJ, tell us a little bit about your story. Why is the fight so big for you? Tell us the backstory here.
Man, I got a lot of kids. You know what I mean?
A lot of mouths
Like
to feed.
got a lot of kids and they're getting older and like when they get older things start to cost more. But also just setting an example. Like I want my kids to um do whatever they want in life and do big things and help a lot of people. And I think I think they've been raised in a good household, one that's very very godly based. Like that's one of the things that I've been doing lately over the last couple of years is getting more involved in the church. Like, dude, not everything has to be NASB. Like, you can do things outside of NASB. It's really cool, you know. Um, I'm reading this book right now. It's called The True Measure of a Man, and it's probably one of the best books I ever read.
Wow.
And it talks about significance and security, and that those are the things that we're always chasing. But it talks about those things are extremely fleeting, and we talk a lot about success here at NASB. So I think as individuals, you really got to define what success looks like to you. And I'm not taking away, like, you should make a ton of money because with money, you could do what Ashley does with the Ripple Foundation. That's huge to be a part of that, you guys, because it's more than just insurance. But at the end of the day, it's like, that's why I said, like, who am I becoming? What do I want to be known for? Like, do I want to be known for this guy that hits partner that never sees his family, that's a douche? No, I don't. I don't want to be that person. So start to ask yourself. That's another thing that I've learned with Dan Martell. We are in life based on the questions we ask ourselves. So I'm trying to find better questions to ask myself. Those things are pretty important. So, like in this book, guys, it's talking about the true measure of. I know there's women on here, but you can look at it the same way. It's like the true measure of a man is based on the character he's developing, the wisdom he's gaining, and the ability to love others. So if I can grow my character, that's doing right by Miss Johnson. That's helping people like that aren't at NASB come to NASB because I believe it's a great way to build a financial future for your wife and a life for your life and for a lifestyle you can give back, but then also the wisdom to like lead and help other people. I think that's huge. Learning right from wrong. Like, hey, this is what everybody else sees out there in the world. Like, that ain't right. Let's do this. And then loving other people. You can't be good at this business if you don't other people. Martel says this all the time. You get what you desire for others. You get in life what you desire for others. That's so others focused. It's a beautiful thing. So, like, Ash, I jumped a little bit early, but that's why it's like part of my 5 daily non-negotiables. What I learned from Martel is looking at my vision, my goals, 3 to 5 times a day. Like when I feel like, man, things aren't panning out, I just look at my goals and I go push. I look at my goals and I go, let me make another recruiting call. It doesn't matter how I feel. I'm looking at my goals, right? So those things are pretty important. I think they push you. Y'all have all heard of the lighthouse or the light post theory. Like if you feel burnt out or you feel stuck or you don't feel like going, just you're on a race and it's just all right. Let me get to the next light post, let me get to the next light post. Let me get to the next light post. And you just keep going. You just keep going. And that's kind of like what this business is sometimes. So I hope I've helped.
No, holy cracker jacks. Yes, 110%. I mean, you're just talking about spiritual anchors. I just think emotional discipline, but it all really just boils back down to your identity.
Yep.
Are you consistent? Do you consider yourself a consistent player? Then, if you consider yourself consistent, then everything that you do, you're going to be consistent. You're going to show up. I remember Vin Gang, a great communicator, influencer on YouTube and stuff. One of his biggest things is the number one thing to be the best communicator is you just got to simply show up. You just got to show up. And so, are you showing up to what you wrote down at the beginning of this year in 2025, what your goals were, what your vision was? And why are those things important? And how is that leading to what it is that you desire for other people? So, here comes this last nugget, which is this elite execution. Remember, we're talking about the producer's playbook, how to win your week every single week. So that really already puts you into this art of consistent high performance. What are the standards that we've got to live by as a producer, AJ, to be able to win and be in this elite group?
Oh man, I think it's kind of laid out for you, like through the path to partner. Like that's why Jordan's always talking about the 10K club. And so like if you're not hitting the 10K club, well, then get in the 10K club and do so consistently. Like y'all know Joe Hollyfield, one of the best guys at our company in North Carolina. I don't, he's just a down to earth guy. He's just Mr. Consistent and he's done it long enough. So the 10K club, once you've been there long enough, then you'll move it up 15K. So those things are huge, just on a week to week basis. Like, don't judge your like today might go bad for somebody. That's okay. Like you still got tomorrow. It's a light post, right? So top producers have the ability. They're like Ted Lasso is like have be a goldfish, you know? Like you got to be a goldfish in insurance, man. Like you've got to be able to drop the bad quickly and just move on. So, the whatever NASB has out there, I think it's great. Like you guys got to ask yourself, have you really read the Path to Prosperity or Path to Partner? Sorry, now they call it Path to Partner. And do you really believe that it is a great commission structure? I believe that it is. There's a
Mhm.
lot of people out there throwing out 130s, 140s. I was trying to recruit a guy yesterday. It's like a 135, and he's a smart dude. 37, wants to be a build a big company. But he's smart. He knows it's more about spreads and stuff like that. I'm going to make more money than that guy ever will, and I'll impact way more people because I believe that I started out at AG3 and I learned what it took to be successful here. I learned that it's not about the money, it's about who you become, it's about the hard work it takes, the consistency that it takes, the getting through the BS of Miss Johnson not paying her bill and you having to call her to fix it. It's learning those things, that work ethic, what it takes to win. And if you maintain it every level, it's like, man, your just income explodes. But then it's a path that other people can follow. So I think it starts with, do you believe in the path to partner and what it's gonna do for you, like within you? And if you do that, man, like watch out. Watch out. Watch out because it's gonna make you into the person you need to be to help so many people. So, and if you don't believe that, then good luck. You might want to find something else to do.
Amen. Amen. I love it. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think some people they talk about like, oh, well, I should have I only work when there's an incentive. And I know there's a really right. You know what I mean? Especially even me.
Incentives piss me off, Ash. I love
Let's
incentives. We're having
go.
like a bet right now. Like there's people
Okay.
that like $100 ahead. Whoever writes the most the second half. Here's the thing, and I heard a long time ago a mentor said like too many people have a fire lit underneath them and not enough within them.
Woo, good Lord.
And
Say
when
that.
you have a fire within you, you go consistently. It's like the water torture is just like dripping on you. It's not very hard. It's just this consistent drip. That's powerful. And incentives, I'm not knocking them. I love March Madness. I won March Madness. I bought a fence. I took my wife on a bit. Like, I was going RVP at that time. Like, that's how you create momentum, man. You're telling your story, and your story is just a huge, powerful, um, it's a powerful thing. You mentioned stories earlier, but like, if only you go when there's an incentive, you just won't be here long, and you're not going to enjoy the fruits of what this industry and what NASB can do for you. And I'm not knocking them. Right? We're going to consistently do them because salespeople love incentives. But if you can get that fire within you, whether there's an incentive or not, that's what Jordan tries to say every call after every March Madness is, hey, you've learned what you're now capable of. You've kind of learned your new standard. So then you got to ask yourself better questions as to how can I keep this momentum going? And is it sustainable? Like I know the life that I want to build for me and my family. I'm not going to be a Dan Cohen. I'm not going to be somebody writing 50K a month. I don't want that life, right? So figure out what you want to build, the life you want to create, who you want to become, and then figure out how the NASB platform can help you get there. And don't worry about what anybody else is saying or doing. Don't chase the shiny carrot. Sometimes those shiny carrots lead you astray. So just stick to your plan and stay tied in with your coaches. It's built in for you to have accountability to win. So that's another thing. We didn't touch on it, but like coaching, like it's a two-way street, man. There's been a lot of times where it's like, man, Jordan hasn't called me. Well, what an idiot. Like, dude, I gotta reach out, man. Jordan's got a lot of people. Same thing with Chris. Like, man, when's the last time I talked to Chris? Well, when was the last time you called Chris, AJ? Like, that's personal responsibility. So I enjoyed it, Ash. I hope I brought something to you guys today that helps y'all win. So
Woo! Seriously, AJ, there's just so much being able to connect to the Vine and folks. Now you see why AJ is seriously just one of those folks that I love being able to do life with our family because of the positive influence that he carries and the value that he has. So, folks, I hope you got a lot of today and your producer's playbook to win your week every single week. Thank you, Mr. AJ. Appreciate you big time. Let's go. and finish out our work week. Let's go.